With just a few days before the set release, it's time to go over the final countdown for V-EB02 Champions of the Asia Circuit. So actually, we have the entire set revealed now, so what we're going to do is we're going to go over all the cards that are new. We're also going to go over some of the rarities that we didn't know about, so all these little things here and there, but there's actually only like 4 new cards with effects that we need to go over, technically. So actually throughout this week, in terms of daily card reveals, we didn't have that much, so we just kind of had everything revealed at once, thanks to Freedom Duo, who already opened his case and uploaded all the new cards with scans and translations. The one thing we did see from the stream, however, is the SCR markers. So here you can see a little bit of the Kote Force marker, so that's the only one that really concerns us, the DP players here. But if you do play any of the other, well, clan types really, and I mean, I do play them as well, but you know, if you like any of the other characters, there's Goki, Nagisa, and Leon as well. But now, going into the specifically Dimension Police stuff, we have seen the SVR for Great Dayusha, and it looks amazing. Honestly, this looks so much better than the original VR. Like now, the lines of light are the actual foiling. You can see like lines coming in, like they're going from the bottom to the top, and then like the text looks good. The colors are nice. The background, the main background color is red. It's like crimson red, which is perfect for, you know, the Brave robot series. So honestly, it looks super clean. I love how the SVR looks, just perfect. Then obviously the origin rare for DP is just Dayusha himself, so the regular Dayusha with the old art. Honestly, I like the new art a lot, so like I think I'll pick these up over time just for max rarity purposes, but honestly I like the new art a lot, so I don't see the biggest reason to pick up these, but I think I still will just for collection purposes, as I mentioned. And then as for the box topper markers, our force marker looks like this, so it does have the Great Dayusha art on it, so it does look pretty nice, you know, if you can't afford the secret rare markers, which, you know, not many people should be spending that much money on card games, but you can pick these up as they will be box toppers, not in every box, but I think, you know, 1 in 3 boxes probably you can expect to have one of these, but they should be going for cheap regardless. So now let's go over the actual cards, and beginning with everybody's favorite commander, which is Commander Laurel. He's gone through a few changes, so his skill is Act, rearguard circle once per turn, cost, counterblast 1 and rest 4 of your rearguards, so it can include him. Choose one of your units, and until end of turn, double its power and critical +1. And then it says in brackets, add the power when it was chosen. So if you pumped up his power through any other skills, then you can obviously just, like, you only take after the pump. So if you pump it to 18, then you double that by 2. But if it's only 10, then you double that by 2. So it's when you choose it. So he got an upgrade in power. But basically, this is, Jonathan Gall actually uploaded this on the Dimension Police group on Facebook, but it's basically as if the old Laurel and Grand Scouts just fusioned together to create this new Laurel. Honestly, at first when they showed it on stream, the way that Dr. O described it made it sound like you can only use the effect on the Vanguard, which I was kind of worried, because in that case it'd be pretty bad, and I would only use like 2 or 3. But because this says units, this means that you can select a rearguard to do this with, and honestly, like, some of the new decks in Standard are really gonna like this, because you already have crit pressure on your Vanguard, for example, with the normal Dayusha, but being able to also put on your rearguard just like that is really nice. And so I honestly like his design quite a bit. You know, it's also a really good thing that Laurel in the past, because he was so good, we couldn't have any good Dimension Police support for like 7 years because of that. You know, everything was just bad, and it couldn't be built, or like, it wasn't bad, but it was like, it wasn't as good as it could have been because it had to be built around Laurel. But now this Laurel is fine on his own. He doesn't break the game in any way. There's no on-hit pressure. It's just rest 4 and then double the power of some unit and give it a crit. You know, that's just great. It's perfect. I think honestly he's great. He grew well as a unit, and I think, like, in pure Dayusha might only play him at like 3, maybe even 2, but the Great Dayusha Miracle Beauty variant that I'm really being excited about, I think we'll play this as a 4 of, because of, like, you can potentially rest 4 of your rearguards, excluding one of your Miracle Beauty rearguards, and then that way you can attack with that Miracle Beauty to stand another Miracle Beauty that will stand the rearguard behind her, and then when that Miracle Beauty that just attacked is stood, she'll also stand the rearguard behind her. So that way, actually, like, even though you rested 4, you can just restand them with Miracle Beauties. So I think in the Miracle Beauty deck, this card will be insane, because you're giving crits to a rearguard, which will also have a lot of power, meaning it's going to get the Miracle Beauty skill off, and you can also just get those units back standing. So I think honestly there's no real problem with running this as a 4 of in the Miracle Beauty variant, but in pure Dayusha I think you might just run it as like a 2 or a 3 because you already have good pressure. But honestly, I don't even know, maybe you would just run it as a 4 of even then, just because you can give that pressure to a rear guard. It's like Die Dragons are already going to be big, you can make them even bigger, you know? I think honestly it's a good card. It's definitely a really good card. Also, quick note from post-processing in the future DF. I know a lot of people have been talking about the restriction list, and as far as I'm concerned, in premium, even this new Laurel will be at 1, at least from as far as I'm concerned, because it says Commander Laurel, and any other iteration of the unit would be restricted. But it's sort of a gray area whether this Laurel is at 1 as well, or if it's just the old one. So that's something that needs to be clarified. But in standard, there's no such problem. In standard, it is at 4 of, because that restriction only concerns premium, so don't worry about that. Next, we got a grade 2 in Masked Police Grander. His skill is quite simple. I was hoping for him to be a bit more than just this, but continuous rearguard circle, if your Vanguard's critical is 2 or greater, this unit gets power plus 5k. So it's nice because it works on both turns, so like if you get a damage check crit, then you can also put his power up as well, making it harder for your opponent to hit him if anything. But honestly, it's alright. I mean, it's free 5k pump, and as I said in many videos before, in standard it's a lot more of a issue of like how much you prioritize your numbers rather than convoluted combos and stuff like that. So I guess we'll see how much we counterblast with the current cards, and then I'll see if I play him or not, but I will get to the testing board very soon. Then a card that I obviously don't need to put the skill of is our grade 1 perfect guard. This one is Masked Police Albino, I think. I'm just reading it off the Japanese, so pardon me if that's not the right translation, but just our grade 1 perfect guard. Looks really nice though. I love the art. It's like the good tokusatsu, like Kamen Rider feel. That's what all the Masked Police cards are really, but definitely looks good. But then we have Masked Police Leader. I think Silvard or something like that is what his translation is, because it says Shirubado in Japanese, but I think, you know, probably Silvard in English. But his skill is Rearguard Circle Continuous. If your Vanguard's power is 30k or greater, this unit gets power plus 5k and critical plus 1. Pretty cool, honestly, but it doesn't actually have the force marker, which is a little bit unfortunate, but even then, this is pretty damn cool. So I love his art. It's really nice, and honestly, you know, this might make for an interesting like concept with Masked Police, and definitely like it's quite complementing for like, I don't know, Miracle Beauty or something. But you know, we'll see if this can fit in a budget variant, but definitely not in like the main meta decks. Then we got our 10k vanilla, which is Mad Scepter X. It looks so cool, honestly. Like, I love this art. I kind of wish it was a bit of a better unit than not just a 10k vanilla, because it feels like a bit of a waste of art, because it just looks so good. And then, in my opinion, the best card of all the reveals, well, apart from Laurel, I guess, but of all the reveals we have today, by far one of the ones that shocked me the most is Miracle Fairy Lalapi. So hear this out. At the end of a battle that it boosted, counterblast 1 and put her into your soul, stand a Miracle Beauty on your rearguard circle, and it gets power -5 until end of turn. We just got like the old Tidal Assault in Dimension Police. We can do like so many attacks now, because it's like you can basically do 8 attacks if you have 2 of her behind your 2 Miracle Beauties on rearguard circles, and then Miracle Beauty as your Vanguard and your 2 front row rearguard circles. So you can do 8 attacks in Dimension Police with this deck. Like, I'm genuinely consider like a Miracle Beauty core with Great Dayusha on top. Like, I think that could be a really scary deck. Although with that best case scenario, you would use all 5 of your counterblast, because you need 1 for each Miracle Beauty and then 1 for 1 of each Lalapi. So it's like, yeah, you'd use up all 5, and then you couldn't use Great Dayusha on top of that, so I guess you'd only use like maybe like 1 Lalapi or something like that, maybe the one with higher power, but then you can still do Great Dayusha to get more triggers on the field. But honestly, the worst part about the deck is that it's a bit harder to build up power, because the pure Dayusha variant, it can build up power on its own with just like Dayusha. You rest units to get power, it's very easy, and then like Commander Laurel can also help you with that too. Whereas with this, it's like you'd rely on Laurel sometimes to get you to the threshold. So I think there's potential, and I really want to test it, but this grade 1 does make the deck a lot scarier than I first thought, so I'm definitely excited by it. And then moving along to our last few cards is just the triggers actually. So we have our critical trigger, which is Dimensional Robo Die Battles. This is going to replace his own variant in the premium deck, so we definitely want to be running this in D-Robos. I think in Cosmic Heroes, in Grand Gallop, you just run all of the new ones really. And then we have Justice Cobalt for the other crit, so it doesn't have the D-Robo name, so but still, you know, our crit. Then we have Army Penguin for the draw trigger, and then finally Dimensional Police Go Rescue as our heal trigger. So I like the new arts, especially for Die Battles and Go Rescue. They look really nice. So I think honestly we got good support this set. Like Dimension Police really got some sweet support. Miracle Beauty looks cool. Laurel is great. Honestly, every card seems to be doing a lot. It doesn't feel like there's many wasted slots, if at all. It's like the 10k vanilla, you know, sure, like that's a vanilla, but like even the masked police cards, like that's a deck concept. It feels like there's still something that you can do with them, whether it's the grade 2 or the grade 3. Like it feels like there's something in there. So honestly, I think we got great support. So the set is going to be releasing very soon in Japanese on Friday after I'm uploading this, and if you're watching this as I upload it, I will be streaming on that Friday as I'll be testing, I think, just Dimension Police. I've pretty much decided, so look forward to that as I'm really excited to start playing with these new cards. I have a lot of deck concepts both in standard and premium that I can't wait to try out, so do look forward to that. But on that note, that's going to be it for me today. Don't forget to click the bell button as well as check out the social medias in the description and join the Discord channel if you haven't already. But on that note, I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.